We often talk about what kind of state that the world is in. Well, we've created this world that we live in. It has nothing to do with it just getting to this point. When you separate God from your life. So people blame the separation of church and state. People say, well, you know, separation of church and state. People can't pray in school. Well, okay. Just say hypothetically true. Some part of that is true. However, the option to pray at home never left my house as an option. The ability to be able to pray in my car on my way to carrying my children to school was never an option. To pray at gatherings and to pray outside and to pray at school and everywhere else that I pray, that was never an option. So when I hear people consistently and repeatedly making the statement that prayer was taken out of school and people don't care like they used to care. Well, who are the people? Guess what? Me and you. Do we care like we used to? I do. And does the way other people conduct themselves have anything to do with my overall disposition and my overall actions? They should not. So I said all that because when I continue to hear sexual allegations everywhere, this and that, sexual allegations everywhere. My idea of sexual allegation, my idea of being accused, I've been accused of not sexual misconduct, but of a crime that I did not commit. And to clear my name later was not an option. So when I hear people talking about sexual misconduct at 88, well, that just means that they've been doing that their whole lives. And Trump is an example because there are tapes where he just flat out told people that he did this, that, and other. And then one thing about your life, who you are is who you are. Now, I do believe that God can change you, but it depends on if you want to be changed, because the desire to be changed is strictly up to you. That's biblical, because Pharaoh did not want to let God's people go. So God sent in Egypt a bunch of plagues to come on that land, and Pharaoh still didn't want to let God's people go. And even after he let God's people go, and keep in mind they were slaves, so you know the behavior that go along with that: sex, lying, beating people, treating people inhumanely. But even when he let God's people go, the army had to get drowned in the Red Sea because they were still following. So when we talk about all these things that's going on in the world, this is just behavior that you've accepted. And we continue to be acceptive of behavior. We say, well, you know, you're just judging. You Christian people are just judging. Well, it's really not being judgmental at all. It's about getting the information out there about what will destroy this world. And God has created soldiers, which are us, to convey that information of righteousness to the people. And we talk about race and prejudice. Realistically, that is just the difference between good and evil. We can do away with all these fancy words: prejudice, hate crime, all that. We can do away with all of that and understand that if you do not learn how to live a life with Jesus Christ on this earth, this world only gets worse. I mean, that's just real reality. Because life separated with Christ, which is what was going on before Jesus Christ, it is a life of skewed, disruptive behavior. And it was God-loving awful, and God was so dissatisfied with it. So he just sent his son Jesus as an option for your soul. I mean, that's it. As an option for your soul. And the option for your soul is just receive him. That's all. That is it. So I tell people every day as we continue to look at the device, which is, I heard Eddie Long say a long time ago that TV was a devil device. And that's exactly what it is. This internet, it can be good or it can be bad. How you choose to allow it to be displayed in your life is strictly up to you. You can be on here fighting and posting all this foolishness and showing your behind and naked and dating and courting and feuding. Or you can give information that will help somebody create a different lifestyle for themselves, which is imperative to the lifestyle we live in. People need help. People need to know the real reason they exist. You're not here for no other reason other than to walk right so that people can see Jesus in you. That's your whole purpose and goal. Some of us are ideally here because we can do it a little differently and we can convey that. And some of us are here to give you the information. But this is critical. So all this sex, really? Bill Cosby, 30 years ago, really? Charlie Sheen, passing AIDS out, getting kicked up, really? Donald Trump, the president of the United States, 3 wives, sexual misconduct, really? I mean, I could go on and on and on, and every congressman and every, really? I've hung around some of these locals, and the behaviors are all sexual misconduct. Okay, excuse me, strike that, please. You drink. Everywhere you go, you drink. So guess what drinking? Drinking, sex. Drinking, sex. Okay, then you say, well, okay, I have to be a team player. Okay, if I'm a team player, that means I got to do everything the team do. And if I don't, then I'm an outcast. So what about when the team go out and drink together, get drunk, go with each other's husband, lie, cheating on each other, fighting? Huh, really? And we talk about misconduct? Really? We have to check our homes. Stop talking about racism. Black and white racism is the same. There are just as many black people in your house hate white people as white people in their house hate black folks. And so on and so forth. Mexican. Well, you can't date outside your race. Really? Racism. Indians. You can't date. Really? Racism. That's all race. So we continue to have these conversations about race, but we are so afraid to address the issues that we need to address. And that is life separated from Jesus Christ is a sin, and it's going to be messy and ugly and presented as hate and race. So get it together, people. Get it together. We're talking about what we want for Christmas. Guess what you need to be wanting? Jesus. If you want to know more about Jesus, send me an email at angelimccrary@yahoo.com.